Who was Ragnar Lothbrok? A real historical figure or a product of Scandinavian legends? His name is enveloped in myths and tales passed down through generations. Let's delve into the history of this legendary Viking and attempt to separate fact from fiction while exploring some intriguing details along the way. Origin and Dynasty. According to the Norse sagas, Ragnar Lothbrok was the son of the legendary king Sigurd Ring, who ruled over the Danes, the ancestors of modern Danes, in the late 8th century AD, around 770. Sigurd Ring himself was a notable figure, often associated with the epic Battle of Bravelir, a monumental conflict in Norse mythology. Ragnar is considered the founder of the House of Munso, a dynasty that produced renowned Viking leaders and kings. This lineage is also connected to many political figures of medieval Europe, including Yaroslav the Wise, the Grand Prince of Kiev. Interestingly, through these connections, Ragnar is often cited as an ancestor of several European royal families. However, there are virtually no historical documents that confirm Ragnar's existence. Most of what we know about him comes from sagas, songs, and folklore. The first historically verified member of the House of Munso is his son, Bjorn Ironside. The dynasty's name originates from the island of Munso on Lake Mälaren, where Bjorn's grave is said to be located. Archaeological findings on Munso, including burial mounds and runestones, provide some support for the historical presence of powerful Viking leaders in the area. The nickname Lothbrok. Ragnar's nickname, Lothbrok, has several interpretations. One of the most common translations is hairy breeches or shaggy pants. According to legend, Ragnar donned thick, protective trousers made of animal skin to shield himself from the bites of a serpent while battling a creature that plagued King Haro's lands. These hairy breeches not only served as armor, but also became a symbol of his bravery and ingenuity. Another interpretation suggests that Lothbrok could be derived from Old Norse words meaning cloak of protection or fearsome presence. Some scholars propose that the nickname was a title or kenning, a metaphorical expression used in Norse poetry to signify his prowess in battle. The ambiguity of the nickname adds to the enigmatic nature of Ragnar's legend. Claiming divine descent. The sagas mention that Ragnar asserted his lineage from the gods, either Odin or Freyr. This claim of divine descent bolstered his authority among the Vikings, as tracing ancestry to deities was a common practice among Scandinavian rulers to legitimize their power. Claiming such noble origins not only elevated their status, but also inspired confidence and loyalty among their followers. Lagertha, the Shield-Maiden. One of the most famous legends about Ragnar involves his meeting with Lagertha, a formidable Shield-Maiden. During a conflict with the Swedish king Fro, Ragnar gathered a force to avenge his grandfather. Among his warriors was Lagertha, who distinguished herself with extraordinary courage. Impressed by her bravery, Ragnar sought to court her. However, Lagertha challenged him by setting fierce animals, a bear and a hound, to guard her home. Ragnar overcame these obstacles, winning her hand in marriage. They had a son named Fridleif and 2 daughters whose names have not survived in history. Interestingly, Lagertha is one of the few female warriors mentioned in the sagas and has become a symbol of female empowerment in modern interpretations of Viking history. While the historical existence of shield maidens is debated, archaeological findings, such as the Birka female Viking warrior grave in Sweden, suggest that women may have participated in combat during the Viking Age. Thora and the Serpent battle. After parting ways with Lagertha, some accounts suggest he divorced her due to unrest in their marriage. Ragnar married Thora Borgarjord, the daughter of the Jarl Harald. Thora is central to the legend, where Ragnar confronts a giant serpent. Her father had given her a small serpent, which grew into a large creature that coiled itself around her bower, preventing any suitor from approaching. Determined to win Thora's hand, Ragnar crafted protective clothing, including the famed shaggy breeches, and approached the serpent. He successfully overcame the creature, earning Thora's love and marriage. Thora bore him 2 sons, Agnar and Eric, before she passed away unexpectedly. The motif of a hero confronting a serpent is common in various mythologies and often symbolizes the triumph of good over adversity. Ragnar's victory not only enhanced his reputation, but also linked him to other legendary figures like Sigurd Fafnisbane, Aslaug, and the legendary sons. Ragnar's third wife was Aslaug, also known as Kraka, who was of noble and mystical lineage. She was said to be the daughter of the legendary hero Sigurd, who overcame the dragon Fafnir and the Shield-Maiden Brynhildr. Aslaug was raised by peasants after her parents' deaths, concealing her true identity. Their meeting is wrapped in riddles. Ragnar sent messengers to summon her, but she agreed to meet him only if she could fulfill his conditions. She would come neither dressed nor undressed, neither fasting nor eating, and neither alone nor in company. Aslaug arrived wearing a fishing net, neither dressed nor undressed, biting an onion, neither fasting nor eating, and accompanied by a dog, neither alone nor in company. This display of wisdom impressed Ragnar, leading to their marriage. Aslaug bore Ragnar his most famous sons, Bjorn Ironside, Hvitserk, Sigurd Snake in the Eye, and Ivar the Boneless. Each son had unique attributes. Bjorn Ironside, renowned for his expeditions into the Mediterranean, he purportedly reached as far as Italy and even North Africa. His epithet Ironside suggests invincibility in battle. Ivar the Boneless, known for his intellect and strategic mind, some sagas attribute his nickname to a condition affecting his mobility, while others suggest it refers to his agility. Sigurd Snake in the Eye, allegedly born with a mark in his eye resembling a serpent, symbolizing his heroic lineage. Hvitserk, less is known about him, but some accounts merge his deeds with those of his brothers. These sons became legendary leaders who left a significant mark on Viking history, leading major expeditions and ventures. Military campaigns and expeditions. Ragnar was renowned for his expeditions eastward into the Baltic Sea regions and for his ventures into European territories. He employed a strategy of arriving during times when defenses were weakened, maximizing surprise. One of his most famous campaigns was the venture towards Paris in 845 AD. According to Frankish chronicles, a fleet of 120 ships carrying about 5,000 Vikings, led by Ragnar, sailed up the Seine River and approached the capital of the Frankish Empire. King Charles the Bald, unsure of where the Vikings would land, divided his army between the river's banks. Ragnar capitalized on this by engaging one portion of the army. To deter further resistance, he took measures that discouraged opposition. Paris was reached, and Charles the Bald agreed to pay a substantial ransom of 7,000 pounds of silver, known as Danegeld, to safeguard the city. This was one of the earliest recorded instances of a significant ransom paid to Viking leaders, setting a precedent for future interactions. The venture heightened the awareness of Viking activities throughout Europe and, according to some sources, inspired the plea, "From the fury of the Northmen deliver us, O Lord." It's also notable that during their travels, the Vikings encountered challenges, including illnesses that affected their ranks, which some historians speculate had broader implications. Final expedition and legacy. In 865 AD, driven by a desire to achieve even greater feats and perhaps overconfident from past successes, Ragnar embarked on what would be his final voyage to England with minimal force. His ship encountered difficulties off the coast of Northumbria. Seizing the opportunity, he began exploring local territories, but was soon captured by King Aella II. According to legend, Ragnar faced execution in a manner that reflected the intense hostilities of the time. Before his passing, he is said to have uttered words expressing how his sons would react upon learning of his fate, foreshadowing their future actions. Some accounts suggest that Ragnar faced his end with stoic bravery, reflecting on his life and anticipating his journey to Valhalla. Sons' response and ongoing influence. Upon learning of their father's demise, Ragnar's sons assembled what became known as the Great Heathen Army, a coalition of Viking warriors from Denmark, Norway, and possibly Sweden. In 866 AD, they ventured into England. They moved through Northumbria and, according to legend, confronted King Aella. While details vary, their actions reflect the customs and responses of the era. These events marked the beginning of an extended period of Viking presence in the British Isles. The Vikings established significant settlements, such as the Danelaw in eastern England, where Danish laws and customs were practiced. Their presence profoundly influenced the culture, language, and demographics of the British population. England underwent significant changes as a result, ultimately leading to the unification of its kingdoms under leaders like King Alfred the Great. Alfred successfully defended his kingdom of Wessex and initiated a revival of learning and legal reform. Cultural impact and modern legacy. Ragnar Lothbrok's legend has had a lasting impact on literature, art, and popular culture. He has been the subject of numerous works, including the Icelandic sagas, medieval chronicles like Saxo Grammaticus's Gesta Danorum, and modern novels. In recent years, his story gained widespread attention through television series that dramatize Viking history, blending historical events with mythological elements. The fascination with Ragnar and the Vikings reflects a broader interest in the Viking Age, often highlighted for its themes of exploration and the warrior ethos. Viking motifs appear in various aspects of culture, from literature and festivals to educational programs. Interesting facts. Beyond their reputation as warriors, Vikings like Ragnar and his descendants were also explorers and traders. They established trade routes that reached as far as the Byzantine Empire and the Caliphate of Baghdad, exchanging goods like furs and amber and crafted items for silver and luxury goods. In Scandinavia, numerous runestones have been found that commemorate Viking voyages and endeavors. While none explicitly mention Ragnar, they provide context for the era in which he supposedly lived. Modern genetic studies have traced Viking ancestry throughout Europe, indicating the extensive movement and settlement patterns of Viking populations. The technological advancement of Viking longships was crucial to their success. These vessels were capable of navigating both open seas and shallow rivers, allowing for rapid and unexpected travel inland. Vikings had complex legal systems and societal structures. Assemblies like the Althing, an early form of parliamentary system in Iceland, showcase their approach to governance and law. The story of Ragnar Lothbrok is a tapestry woven from both facts and legends, reflecting the spirit of the Viking Age. His legend has inspired and continues to inspire generations, symbolizing bravery, the quest for adventure, and resilience. Despite the lack of concrete historical evidence, Ragnar's image remains influential in the cultural heritage of Scandinavia and the world. Understanding Ragnar's tale provides insight into the values, beliefs, and societal structures of the Viking era. It also highlights how stories can shape our perception of history, reminding us of the enduring power of narrative.